Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if it is your first time here, then hi, I'm Shelby. It's very nice to make your acquaintance. Today, I'm going to be doing a full face, almost a full face, of first impressions. They're currently on my face. If you would like to see how I got this makeup look, like to see how I think about all the products that I've tried on my face, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so I have a bunch of new products right here. I actually somewhat got a little organized. This I actually received in my BoxyCharm. I did not do a first impression on this because I already had my face of makeup on, so I said that I would do it in this video. So this is the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizer Primer. I feel like I've heard good things about his Pores No More line. It has a little bit of like a skincare-y scent to it, and it's kind of like a milky white creamy shade. So we're just gonna put that on, and if I'm looking here, it's because my mirror is here. So it just kind of feels like a moisturizer. It doesn't have any like pore filling, you know, like the silicone-y type texture. It just kind of blends in seamlessly with the skin. This is actually kind of, I feel like it's almost putting like a bit of a filter over my face. Like it does have a luminous finish, but it's not like a really luminous finish like the Becca highlighting, backlight, priming, whatever. Again, never used this primer before, but it does look very nice. So just finished with primer, and now I'm going to go on to something I'm very excited about. This is the Loreal Pro Glow Infallible Pro Glow 24-hour foundation in the shade 204 Natural Buff. I have no idea if this is my shade. I went back and forth between 205 and 204 and 203, and I was like, this is probably my good in-between shade when I'm like not freshly self-tan, but I'm also not pale as a ghost, which currently I am right now. I was planning on doing this video earlier in the week, but I've been sick. And I'm also going to be using the Morphe sponge with this. I've never tried any Morphe sponges. I have tried their brushes. I have a video coming on Morphe and the whole brand and how I feel about them. But this is a sponge. I have wet it. It's a little bit more dense than the Beauty Blender right off the bat, but it feels pretty good. It feels kind of like the L'Oreal L'Oreal, like the purple little sponge they have before they changed the formula. Yeah, it feels like a decent sponge. We'll see. I'm going to put this on like a little, I'm going to do a version that the Taylor here on YouTube does. She always puts it on the back of like a Bath & Body Works candle thing for sanitation purposes. This shade is actually pretty good. Oh, the shade actually matches me right now, so that's good to know. I feel like it looks a lot darker in the packaging, but I like this sponge. I've really been into finding dupes for the Beauty Blender. I still love the Beauty Blender, probably the best out of all of them that I've tried, but I really have been on like the Eco Tools, and also Amazon sells a really nice Aesthetica. It's like a black blending brush, and that one's pretty cheap. I don't think it's as cheap as the Real Techniques one or this guy. I think this one was $7. So I'm really actually loving the finish on this. A lot of times, at least with like the Tarte Shape Tape foundation, the hydrating version that I used in one of my last videos, the issue I get with, if I ever have issues with luminizing foundations, is that because it has luminizing properties to it, it makes your like texture and your pores look more enhanced, and that is not what I want. And this is just like a really smooth, beautiful finish. So this is actually super pretty. I like it. Again, I'm still probably going to go in with a little bit of concealer and cover up my bumps just because I'm having quite a bit of breakouts. What's new? And I think it's a pretty good match for my skin. I like it. The next thing I'm going to be trying out is also something that Raw Beauty Christy had talked about in her video, and that is the Kylie Cosmetics concealers. It came in a little box like this. It's kind of cute. It's kind of like swatches on the outside of a box. I really like it. I actually like Kylie Cosmetics products. A lot of people kind of have an issue with her. I feel like this past year with her being pregnant, because we all know that she's pregnant even though she has not come out and said it yet. We all know it. But I feel like the brand in itself has kind of suffered from her being pregnant, where it's like she's coming out with new things but she's just not marketing, and like that's the whole point. So I feel like when these launched, they just kind of like launched and it was like, congratulations, you have concealers, and then people talked about them for a few days and then nobody talked about them. But Raw Beauty Christy was kind of a little late to the game and tried this out, so I thought I would try it out. So it's in a very nice bottle. I like it. Typically I like for this part to be a bit longer just so it's easier to open if it gets kind of stuck, but that's nothing we can't work with. I got the shade Ivory. The issue with Kylie Cosmetics is you cannot return anything, so if you don't like it or it's not your shade, you can't return it. So I thought that I would just go with a lighter shade. It has a nice little clear, you can't really see it, a clear wand. The applicator is very much like the ColourPop concealers. It has a little bit of a scent. It just kind of smells a little like a concealer kind of would. You know how like concealers and foundations kind of, if they're not scented, they kind of have the same scent. It's not too chemically. Stop talking, Shelby. Let's just go in. So the ColourPop concealers dry down like a lot. They dry down a lot. So I would always opt to go for a lighter shade with these. I'm not really seeing any sort of a change, maybe like the tiniest bit. But I'm just going to blend this out with my Morphe sponge. Yeah, with the ColourPop concealers, they like seriously dry down so much darker. It's the weirdest thing. I've never seen a product dry down so much darker than it comes out on the skin. I would say that it is more dewy, more creamy than the ColourPop concealers. A lot of people are comparing this to Shape Tape. This is definitely creamier than Shape Tape. I'm actually not the biggest fan of Shape Tape because it dries down and it makes my under eyes look crepey. So we will see if this is going to dry down or kind of stay at that. It almost has like a dewy finish, not necessarily an illuminating, like it doesn't really have any shimmer in it. So now since we are done kind of with our foundation and concealer, I actually picked up the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. I got this off of Beautylish, but they do sell this at Nordstrom's. I have been hearing so many people talk about this. I know Manny talked about this, Jamie Page talked about this, and Jamie Page, all the things that she likes, I tend to like, so I trust her. I got this in the shade Fair. This is just the first shade. It only comes in 3 shades. It comes in Fair, Medium, and like a darker shade. But just for like setting the face, everybody's like, oh, I just get the lighter shade, and it doesn't really add much color. It's just to kind of set your foundation, so I thought I'm more light than medium, so I just thought I would go ahead and pick this guy up. The packaging for Charlotte Tilbury things is always absolutely stunning, but their stuff is not the cheapest. So I'm just going to take a little Real Techniques, had this brush forever. It's like their blush brush, which who's putting blush on with this? Just being real. And I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to set my under eyes. Oh, that's powdery. Don't do what I just did. Watch. Don't put it in too much. Do you guys see that? Okay, so far I am liking this. It just kind of is like putting almost like a light filter. And honestly, I'm not noticing that it's giving any color at all. So I'm just going to kind of run this over the rest of the face. That's really pretty. It's really pretty. The next thing I'm going to do is bronzer. So I'm going to go in with this It Cosmetics, just Sunshine and Compact. I do like the It Cosmetics Ombre Radiance Bronzer, but I hear Kristen Johns here on YouTube talking about this and how she absolutely loves this. So I actually bought this off of Poshmark. It's like been so, like, it hasn't even been used, and somebody was selling it for really cheap. I basically ended up getting this for $5, so shout out to Poshmark. So this is a matte bronzer, and the Ombre Radiance one is not. It has shimmer in it, but I use the bottom half of the Ombre Radiance bronzer because it is matte, and I just don't mix it in with the shimmers, but I feel like that's a waste of product. I feel like this is a really pretty shade. I can tell more in the camera than in person. With, I feel like it's really nice. So in the pan, it definitely looks like it's going to come off a lot darker than it actually does on the skin. I feel like you control it really well, unlike the Pure Cosmetics that was in our boxing charm. You guys, I'm really impressed so far. I'm loving, like, everything. This never happens. Okay, so we now have the base on. It has been a little bit of time. I just put on a little bit of blush. I put on the Papa Don't Peach blush by Too Faced, and then I use the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlighter and Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal for that real intense highlight. I think I dragged it a little bit down, but I think that's also the foundation. I can't really tell. Everything's sort of blending together, and the blush also has a little bit of shimmer in it, so we're looking a little luminous today. That is fine. Next, we are going to go in with brows. This is the NYX Eyebrow Gel. Never used this puppy before. I'm a little intimidated. This is in the shade Blonde, and I feel like this will be a good shade because it doesn't look too warm, which is what you want, or at least what I want, because my natural hair is pretty cool toned. Oh, thank goodness. This is not coming out very, like, it's not super liquidy. It's pretty thick. So I just put like the tiniest drop on my little Bath & Body Works candle thing right here. I'm going to brush up my eyebrows. So it is definitely on the thicker side, so you can control this, so like don't be afraid of this. But I will say I feel like it's making my brows look a little gray. You can't get super precise lines, I'm finding. It's a little thick for like a very preciseness to the brow. But okay, so brows are done. I feel like they look really good. I will say it kind of, I don't know if it's the thickness of it or if it dries down quickly. But it doesn't, the product doesn't go a really long way, so you do have to squirt out quite a bit of it, but I think it matches my natural hair color really well. It has a little bit, just like the tiniest bit of like a gray tone to it. So next we are going to go on with the eyes. I picked up the Tartelette Flirt palette. I've been eyeing this guy for a while. A lot of people are saying like it's a baby version of the Heat palette. So off the bat, these do have that like vanilla-y smell to them. I do not have a new eye primer, so I'm just going to go in with my Kylie concealer. Alright, so and now my eyelids have been primed. I'm going to go in to Glaze, which is just this basically kind of like a creamy, a warmer tone shade, and I'm just going to set that on my lid to just set our concealer. There's a little bit, I picked up a lot on the brush. I'm going to go into the Hotline shade. This is going to be sort of a warmer, it's a bit deeper than what I would like for a transition shade, but actually that's coming off not as dark as it looks in the pan. Blending really nicely. I love Tarte shadows. I feel like they just blend very nicely, and I've never really had an issue with patchiness. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Playful. This is going to be sort of like the neutrally brown shade. We want to make this a little bit less warm. So I'm just going to pop that into the crease. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit lower and not bring it up as high. So, and now that we have that, I'm going to go into Snuggle, which is this dark brown shade, and I'm going to be using that with like a small little brush. This is a Morphe M431 brush. I don't know how I feel about this brush. We will see. I feel like some of the Morphe brushes just make shadows look patchy, but we will see if this guy can work out today. So I'm going to go into that Snuggle shade, and I'm just going to put this on the outer corner. So now I'm just going to go over with a little Kylie brush. This is from like a winter collection forever ago. I'm just gonna run it over everything just to kind of make it all mesh together and blend it. Now I'm going to go into the shade Passion. This is the shimmery shade that's more, not the warmest one. Touch is the only one I'm not going to be using today. I'm going to go into the Passion shade, which is more like a pinkier, brownier. It's more up my alley. And then I'm going to take the shade Hotline, this first shade that we used on the little pencil brush that I used for the outer corner. I'm just going to run that very close under my lash line just to deepen up the look. Alright, so the eyeshadow is done. I'm very happy with this little palette. It is so cute. I'm just really liking how everything is turning out so far. But now we are going to be doing Grayson.
Yes.
Love you. Love you. So next thing I'm going to be trying out is the Pixi by Petra Endless Silky Eye Pencil. This is in the shade Copper Glow because I love coppery shades on my eyes. Not really a black eyeliner fan. If I ever use it, I like to use browns. So Chloe Morello was talking about Pixi. I don't know if she was like sent PR or they were paying her to talk about them, but I just thought I would, test it out. So it is nicely sharpened already. This is kind of the shade to it. I believe, yep, you have to sharpen it, which is annoying. I like roll up ones, but sharpening it keeps it very sharp. So here we go. Here we go. Oh, yes. It's very soft, very easy, not having to tug anything. Okay guys, so I have finished the liner, and I was just saying before my camera decided it wanted to die was that I really like this. They are $12. They are on the more expensive side, but so far I'm really impressed with this eyeliner. So obviously I have gone on and already put my mascara on. I used the Tarte mascara, and now I'm going to go on to the lips. I have actually two lip products. I have the Kylie Jenner Velvet Liquid Lipstick and Lip Liner. I've never used her liquid velvet stuff before. I love her shade in Cocoa K, but it is a little drying, I will say. I'm not totally on the matte train. I love glosses. They're like my jam. And I also have a Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I have never purchased anything from Jeffree Star Cosmetics in my entire life. I watch his videos. I'm not sure how I feel about him as a person. Please, people, don't come for me. Oh my gosh. Oh, this packaging. OMG. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. They are literally the exact same. But let's see, how about we try the Velvet Liquid Lipstick first, so it'll be easy to take off, and then we can go into the shade Christmas Cookie. They are very similar. They may be dupes, but I just bought them because, to be honest, these are my shades. I don't go for anything crazy. This is in the shade Charm. It looks like the same color as Cocoa K, except in a velvet formula, so super excited about that. has that Kylie smell. I love the smell of her liquid lipsticks. I love it. Okay, here we go. So I will say that this is a very neutrally pinky shade. It feels really comfortable on the lips. It feels really light on the lips. It's very much like her matte formula. I would say it's less liquidy, and it feels a lot lighter on the lips. You don't have that instant like tightening sensation. I really love her lip pencils. I've used them before, but I didn't want to use it in this video just because we're going to go in with Christmas Cookie. I like this shade. It's very similar to Coco K, maybe a tiny bit darker. Okay, now that my lips are all dry, I'm going to go into Christmas Cookie. This packaging is stunning. It doesn't really have a smell. It kind of smells like old school lipsticks, like your mom's lipstick. It's kind of bringing like nostalgia vibes. But that scent has kind of gone away now that it's been open for a little while, so let's just see. The wand is not as soft as Kylie's, but it has a little divot in the wand to where it's holding product. And it's holding product. I'm like, where is this product coming from? You know, like when you've swiped on and you're like, oh, there's no more on the wand. That's what it feels like on my lips, yet it like product is still coming from somewhere, obviously. It's a very light formula, very light. It looks really pretty. Okay, so here is Christmas Cookie on the side and Charm is on the side. Charm is going to be the one that is a little bit more pinky, a little bit lighter. The Christmas Cookie one is a little bit more browny, but they're very similar. So right off the bat, the things that I am very excited about. I really love the concealer. I think that's a #1 standout product. Where are you, concealer? I really love both of the lip products, especially the Jeffree Star Cosmetics liquid lips. The powder. If you take anything away from today's video, you need that Charlotte Tilbury powder. I pretty much liked all of it except for the eyebrow guy. I just feel like it looks a little gray. So that is going to be it for today's video. If you liked this video and you like makeup videos like this one, then go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave in the comments what are some beauty products that you are obsessing over this month. I'm really looking into trying out new products, testing new products, and the video right after this one is going to be a little fun video. If you would like to see that video, then don't forget to hit that little subscribe button down below. Become a member of our small but growing family. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye. Too far away.